Ryan O'Doud, and you're listening to Ryan's Audiobooks on the Issues Magazine YouTube channel. Today we're picking up in section 1010 of Adam from the Son of Knowledge by Lex Hixon Nur Al Jerrahi. We're picking up in the middle of chapter 5, Islamic Meditations. Earth is a place of prayer. The glorious Quran reveals the sacred nature of this earth. The Most High has created planetary life as an oasis along the journey of the precious human soul, as a place where timeless awareness can be tested by living beautifully in the realm of temporal responsibility. The clear Quran teaches humanity to plunge into deep gratitude, to meditate ceaselessly upon the signs of Allah's mercy, simple earthly abundance, rain and seasonal growth, sweet springs and fruit-bearing trees, fields of grain, green pasture lands, timber from the mountains. The voice of truth, speaking through the exalted state of prophetic consciousness, instructs the human being to be gratefully aware of Allah's most simple gifts: fire for cooking, water for drinking, and for the purifying ablutions before prayer. Clean earth for the ablutions before prayer when water is not available. Allah presents humanity the dome of atmosphere as a vast blue canopy, sun and moon as brilliant lamps, and constellations scattered throughout the night sky, inspiring us to contemplate the immensity of creation and the infinite power of the Creator. From Allah alone flows the graceful rhythm of night and day, sun providing warmth and light for the life of action, and night providing darkness and coolness for the refreshment of the sleep, adorned by the spiritual dreams Allah most subtle sends to guide the soul. This blue and green tapestry of earth, with fertile soil and pathways and dwelling places prepared by Allah most merciful, as a mother prepares a candle, is anchored by primordial mountains, the stability of manifest being, and is protected by natural principles of harmony emanating from Allah, such as the subtle barrier that separates salt water from fresh water. All creatures, who are living parables for divine power and love, are provided with their daily sustenance in perfect mutual interdependence. Humanity is appointed by its Creator, exalted be He, as the sensitive, reverent caretaker for this balanced planetary life, enjoying the abundance of Allah in constant gratitude, joy, prayer, and submission. The awesome voice of truth, speaking through the Arabic Quran, reminds human beings to attribute every success to Allah alone, crying out spontaneous praises to Allah Most High when experiencing the exhilaration of riding a swift mount or sailing a sleek ship before the wind. Allah reminds human beings to perceive their own awareness and intelligence, as well as the continuous stream of prophetic teachers and revelatory scriptures, as irrefutable signs of His love and power. These are flawless demonstrations of divine presence for persons who see clearly, think deeply, meditate profoundly, and love selflessly. The entire creation is revealed as the cosmic Quran. Each event and each moment is an ayat, a verse or sign, inscribed upon radiant pages of light by the pen of universal intellect. The throne of Allah rests upon the unifying stream of living energy behind the surface of manifest being. This divine creation that sparkles around and within us is not mere matter functioning through impersonal laws, but is the perfect mirror of divine attributes, alive completely with divine life, permeated by divine mercy, unfolding according to divine justice, no matter how imperfectly we may perceive the all-embracing One. As the glorious Quran reveals, no soul is wronged by even so much as the point of a date stone. The beloved Muhammad, may the peace of Allah always surround him, was asked by his Lord to gaze into this divine creation and to discover if there exists the slightest disharmony, fragmentation, or injustice here. The Prophet's gaze, the most powerful gaze of any human being, returned, as Quran reveals, weary from its vast journey and dazzled by the diamond facets of perfection. creation exists only within divine light, which is the one light of the heavens and the earth. The infinite variety of manifestation, the never-repeating stream of divine creativity that flows harmoniously within divine unity, never disturbs divine unity, which contains not only countless galaxies but 7 subtle planes of being. There are races of subtle creatures called jinn, as well as mineral kingdoms, plant kingdoms, animal kingdoms, angelic kingdoms, and the crown of creation, the human kingdom. In the human being, Allah's essence of awareness and energy of manifestation have miraculously intermingled and mystically joined. The boundless power and love of Allah are expressed perfectly through every atom, every star, every life in every kingdom, on every plane of being. The human body, these very hands, lips, and hearts, instruments of praise that will be resurrected as bodies out of radiance on the last day, contains the whole creation in microcosm. This mysterious human form displays the 99 beautiful names of the Creator, the 1,001 names, and the endless divine names. 5 billion precious human beings now live on the planet, with billions before, and Allah willing, billions to come. They are created as perfect instruments of conscious praise. These most marvelous beings in creation are engaged in the drama of purification at every point on the surface of the planetary plane of life, struggling to drive out the forces of negation from their own hearts. By the mysterious permission of Allah, insubstantial dark forces have entered His creation through the original rebellion among highly placed subtle beings in the sub-angelic realms. The history of prophecy is the constant victory of divine light. The whole globe of water and earth, green plants and atmosphere, this unified field of living kingdoms, has become a place of prayer in the course of this holy struggle against negation. The 5 periods of prayer now follow each other with the same beautiful rhythm as night and day, as seasons of the year and movements of the stars. The graceful rhythm of creation emerges from the guidance of Allah alone. This very earth has become a mosque and a sacred prayer carpet spread out by Allah for humanity. This very earth has become an earth of prayer, an earth of pilgrimage, an earth of fasting during the holy month of Ramadan, when the torrential rains of divine grace are released as a monsoon of realization. This earth has become an earth of generous giving and tender love among lovers of the truth. This earth has become an earth of revelation, surrounded by and permeated with the light of prophecy. This earth resounds with the drums of jihad, the holy warfare of truth, as millions of human beings awaken spiritually, affirming unity with their very breath and heartbeat. Even the dust of the earth now purifies the warriors' divine love in the ablution ceremony of Tayammum, or touching the earth, revealed by Allah through the prophet of completion, the truthful, faithful, merciful, peaceful, prayerful, graceful, beautiful, blissful Muhammad, who upon him be peace. This guide of mystic guides has become the prophet for all humanity. National, cultural, and religious barriers have fallen away. There are only the lines of prayer behind the Imam of light, aligned with the direction of truth. This earth is now spiritually fulfilled, according to the promise of Allah Most High. Whose promise could be more truthful than the promise of truth, the distributor of the light of prophecy to all hearts without exception, the uniquely beloved one of Allah, exaltedly proclaims a new dispensation, which has not been granted to the noble prophets before him. This earth has been made for me a place of praying and a substance to perform the purification of Tayammum. Every prophet was sent to his own nation. I have been sent to all humankind. Spiritual dream. As the glorious Quran reveals, Allah gives sleep to humanity as refreshment for body and soul. The soul's refreshment is the river of spiritual dream that pours from paradise into the 7 levels of the human heart, becoming various degrees of revelatory experience that occur during sleep, lifting sleep above physical and mental states into the realm of contemplation. All but the highest dreams require interpretation from one who is a knower of truth. Such a person has been empowered to interpret dreams by a mystic guide, an inheritor of the spiritual wealth and beauty of the prophet Joseph, may peace be upon him, the sublime dreamer and interpreter of dreams. The beloved Joseph's dream of stars, sun, and moon bowing before him confirmed the sublime station of the true human being, first revealed by the decree of Allah that the angels bow before the transcendental Adam, archetype of the human soul. An authentic spiritual dream contains 1/40th of the power of divine revelation, the same clarity and power that descended through the prophet of Allah as the Holy Quran. The clear Quran discloses that were its own spiritual magnitude to descend upon a mountain instead of descending into the pristine awareness of the prophet's soul, the mountain would be obliterated. The exaltedness of the human soul is confirmed by the fact that it can receive and bear 1/40th of this original revelatory power, the very power that Allah uses to create the universe with His divine word, and to withdraw the universe with His divine word. 1/40th of this power is actually entrusted to every soul in spiritual dream. That the caretaker of the infinite fields of meaning of the Holy Quran, the beloved Muhammad, could receive the complete power of revelation rather than 1/40th, confirms his adamantine soul to be the first light, the Muhammad of light, the light of prophecy, which has descended directly from the source of light in increasing intensity to every spiritual nation through the sublime lineage of the 124,000 prophets of Allah. The most exalted spiritual dreams directly perceive the Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's peace forever surround him. Equivalent to dreaming of him is dreaming about his noble family, or companions who are an intimate part of his spiritual being, or by extension any of the prophets, who have all borne precisely the same light of prophecy, or by further extension any of the empowered sheikhs who are the inheritors of the wealth of prophets. These mystic guides, who appear in every generation, lovingly sit knee to knee with the prophets in spiritual experience. They have grasped the right hand of the prophets in spiritual realization. To dream about any of these holy persons, directly or indirectly, including places and events associated with them or simply their names, not only refreshes but instructs and exalts the soul, conferring various levels of the most precious spiritual gift, companionship with Allah and the prophets of Allah, may peace be upon them all. The imagery of spiritual dreams can be disturbing, shocking, confusing, unclear, or even totally obscure. The inspired interpretation must fit the dream as a key fits the lock for which it was designed. The door of awareness of the dervish dreamer opens when the key is turned by the careful hand of the sheikh, the precious hand that pours the wine of love into the empty glass of the surrendered heart, filling it to the brim and even over the brim. The dream and its interpretation are then experienced as one reality, not as two separate events that happen to come into conjunction. Only the dream imbued with its interpretation, the response to it ordained by Allah most subtle, becomes 1/40th of divine revelation. The dream by itself is simply a lock without a key. The interpretation by the sheikh, or by one of the initiated or representatives of the mind and heart of the sheikh, need not predict precisely future events or analyze dream symbols. The interpretation can be simply an ecstatic response, an exclamation of joy, offering praise to Allah for His revelation, His path, and His beautiful human souls who race along this path deep into divine light. Or, the interpretation can be a word of warning, echoing the compassionate warning of the Holy Quran to turn only toward truth on all levels of experience and in all areas of responsibility. Dreams that are not spiritual, that do not emanate from paradise, are the interior adjustments of the psyche in its attempts to process the mass of mental, physical, and emotional impressions that it contains, both consciously and unconsciously. These psychological dreams are as natural to human functioning as tears, yet just as there are spiritual tears and sentimental tears, the difference between the two needing clear discernment by the contemplative practitioner, So there are spiritual dreams and psychological dreams. A spiritual dream usually declares itself as such to the dreamer, not by revealing its secret meaning, but simply by its vibrant clarity and its total unexpectedness. There are dreams lower on the scale of illumination than ordinary dreams of anxiety or wish fulfillment. These are dreams inspired by demonic influence. The daily spiritual hygiene of a holy way of life and constant clarity about one's motivation, recognizing and rejecting the movements of the grasping self, the domineering ego, provide the best protection against demonic dreams, which enter the nervous system as bacteria enter the digestive system. If our daily lives are clean, clear, harmonious, humble, truthful, and merciful, these alien influences may pass through us, but will find no place within us to establish themselves. Before falling asleep, one should make prayerful preparations, for dreaming is just as much the spiritual path as waking life. Waking existence is in fact a form of dreaming carried on at the particular level of maturity one has attained. The same objective event has entirely different meanings for individuals at different stations along the spiritual path. Creation as a whole is Allah's dream, reflected through the struggling of his conscious creature to evolve. Paradise is Allah's dream, completely unveiled. The goal of the mystic way, the awakening into essence, lies beyond both the dreams of this world and paradise. May we take refuge with the bearer of the green banner of guidance, the final interpreter of the dream of manifestation, the guide of all souls, the beloved Muhammad. He assures spiritual dreamers who long only for reality, "Whoever sees me in a dream has surely seen me, for Satan cannot impersonate me." Mosque. A mosque is not, essentially, a structure built by human hands, but is the holy sanctuary of human existence. Divinity does not dwell in structures. The holiness of the human heart, its instinct for friendship, its hunger for the one reality, its ecstatic response to the call for prayer, its thirst for the living water of the Holy Quran, is what constitutes a mosque. What builds a mosque? What loves a mosque? The prayers of the lovers of truth, offered everywhere at the coming of the times for prayer in mountains, deserts, green fields, villages, and vast cities, have transformed the entire planet into a mosque. Allah Most High is not contained within any mosque, nor is Allah inside his creation. The mosque is where this fact of divine transcendence is known and clearly demonstrated. The faithful stand in congregation within the Jami, the gathering place of true lovers, brought together by the divine power Ya Jami, the gatherer. Soldiers touching, we gaze together in the directionless direction of prayer, which is not a direction within the world, for we are now facing Allah alone. The mosque is perfectly transparent in the direction of transcendence. There's no city, no earth, no creature, no universe before one as one prays toward the city of light, Mecca the ennobled. There's no Kaaba constructed from stone in front of one who truly prays. The moment one has proclaimed the words of transcendence, Allahu Akbar, not even angels intervene between the gaze of the lover standing for prayer and the divine light of the Creator, exalted be He. The angels may gather to the right and to the left, behind and above, but never in front. The mosque is the place that faces only Allah, the place where the secret door opens beyond and behind all reality. Allah, the utterly alone, is not another dimension of reality. Allah is the reality from which all dimensions spring, to which all dimensions prostrate, toward which all dimensions are returning, and within which no dimension can exist. The mosque is the masjid, the place of prostration, where all humans lose themselves in prostration. The mosque is the ideal human place of nonviolence, protection, healing, friendship, and illumination. Here, the forehead of the true human being touches the earth of humility in the mystery of submission. causing the brow to become as transparent as the direction of prayer and therefore to shine with divine light. The external form of the mosque can manifest beauty and grandeur or rustic simplicity. Kings and laborers pray together. Their movements and intentions remain exactly the same. At the moment of prostration, the deepest point of the prayer, every facet of the external mosque disappears. There are no more beautiful calligraphies, graceful domes, or shining minarets. The person of prayer extends this spirit of prostration throughout the prayer. The one lost in prayer does not care if he is standing on bare earth, rough stone, smooth marble, or soft carpets. One knows, then, only that the mosque is the place that shines with transcendent light. In this all-engulfing light, every human consideration and opinion, all aesthetics and philosophy, disappear like stars when the full moon rises. The Holy Mosque is the reflection of the divine attributes. Its ever-expanding architecture and the sublimity of its building materials do not represent human ideas, human initiative, or human self-glorification, but are spontaneous expressions of divine power, beauty, light, abundance, harmony, and knowledge. The calligraphy in a mosque is the living Quran, not essentially a product of human art. The lover of truth who enters a mosque does not meditate on any human craftsmanship there. Towering minarets and vast floating domes are not the self-congratulation of human engineering. The mosque is clearly recognized as the expression of the will of Allah, the reflection of the attributes of Allah. All praises are ordered and offered only to Allah. We read in the precious oral tradition about the gradual expansion of the mosque in Medina, which began originally in a sheepfold. This is a mystical teaching about the progressive revelation of the divine attributes, narrates Abdullah bin Umar. In the lifetime of Allah's messenger, the mosque was built of adobe, its roof the leaves of date palms, its pillars the trunks of date palms. Abu Bakr did not alter it. Umar expanded it on the same pattern, changing the pillars into carved wooden ones. Uthman changed it by expanding it to a great extent. He built its walls with engraved stones and made its pillars of engraved stones and its roof of teakwood. The blessed oasis of prostration, the direction of truth, and the divine light, which shines from the foreheads of the lovers, remain exactly the same under the teakwood roof as the dusty sheepfold or beneath the vast dome of the blue mosque in Istanbul. The quality of transparency to the light of Allah, to the will of Allah, that constitutes a true mosque, remains exactly the same and will remain so until the end of time. Future mosques may be built of glass, crystal, or laser beams. Mosques may be constructed that are so gigantic that Mount Arafat can serve as the minbar, and the city of Mecca as the mihrab. Weightless mosques may orbit life-bearing planets. The true mosque is always the same. What evolves is our human perception of the attributes of Allah, divine energies that manifest as the universe with awesome beauty, dazzling harmony, and inconceivably sensitive mercy. This is what humanity learns to contemplate by serving as instruments for the construction of mosques. 4. The awakened hearts of the intimate friends of Allah, the whole universe, and this precious human body have already become the ultimate mosque. But their tender appreciation flows to every small corner where the prayers of Islam have been established with even minimal concern, care, love, and sacrifice. Divine beauty and mercy shine richly through these actions of prayerful human hearts and hands. Thus, the leader of the prayers of humanity, the Imam of the mosque of the entire planet, the beloved Muhammad, reveals the mysterious correspondence between earth and paradise. Whoever builds a mosque intending Allah's good pleasure, Allah will build for him a similar place in paradise. Touch. With shoulders touching, we stand in the powerful configuration of faith, the perfectly straight lines of prayer. Just so, the radiant persons of the resurrection will advance through the gates of paradise in vast lines of mutual love, each consisting of 70,000 lovers shoulder to shoulder. Touching and formlessly intermingling, the souls of the universe of souls are ranged in lines of prayer from before eternity, immersed together in the resonance of the transcendent Quran. We are always touching, mingling, bonding, mutually supporting. We link hands as we walk toward the mosque, each step counting as prayer. We join hands as we move in the mystic circle of the dervishes in ecstatic remembrance. The beloved one of Allah, having been sent for all humanity and remaining in subtle communion with all humanity, held a small girl on his noble shoulders as he stood for prayer. He placed her beside him on the ground as he made his prostration, and then returned her to his shoulders as he once stood, more to chant Quran. We sit with our knees touching the knees of the Sheikh when we take his hand to enter the mystical order. The interlocking spiritual transmission, the touch of right hands for 14 centuries. Divine names flow through us at the smooth touch of each prayer bead as we are strung together on the thread of La ilaha illallah. With the intimate touch of a holy kiss, we greet the sacred black stone, which received kisses from the lips of the transmitter of the living Quran. May Allah tenderly embrace him in divine peace. Through the palms of our upraised hands, we receive the emanations of divine energy flowing from the one source of reality through the black stone. As we circumambulate the Kaaba in intimate touch with our brothers and sisters, the whirling current of the faithful in union with the ones they love. With a tender touch of our lips, we greet the external form of the Holy Quran, its notation with ink on paper. With this same sweet and humble kiss, we greet our Sheikh, kissing the knees that have touched the earth so frequently in prayer, and kissing the palms of the hands that have been so frequently upheld in intercessory supplication, receiving that direct touch of Allah's blessing. With our palms, energized by the blessings of Allah during our own supplication, we touch our faces and our bodies, fusing with the divine touch. Our bodies touching, we sit closely together at the meetings of the dervish lovers, feeding each other with our hands, kissing each other on both cheeks, preparing food lovingly for the faithful to break their fast during Ramadan, pouring water and tea for each other, sharing water for ablutions. With the ecstatic kiss and sensitive embrace of love, marriages are sealed and children are conceived. The mother then holds the child within her womb for 9 months and feeds the child at her breast for 2 years with her most intimate loving touch. What lavish human touch descends as a drenching rain of love upon children, creating for us all the experiential basis for the sacrament of touch, the loving human interdependence and dependence on Allah. All the creations of Allah, animate or inanimate, touch uninterruptedly in complete mutual interrelation. Sun and grass, flocks, joyous communal meals, sheepskin posts upon which dervishes are kneeling, immersed in the affirmation of unity, white cotton or linen of their robes, wool of their dervish cloaks, silver of their sacred medallions, mined by human hands from the depths of the earth, sweet atmosphere of the planet breathed with every breath in conscious or unconscious gratitude. We touch and reinforce each other intimately in learning and communication. The very voice of our teacher, companion, or colleague touching the sensitive eardrum. Our hearts touch and intertwine in compassionate love that actually experiences in tangible form the joy and pain of the other. The angels touch us subtly as they guide, protect, and illumine. We are touched by each other's commitments. As we advance along the mystic way of nearness to Allah, we become nearer to each other. We are more deeply touched by one another. Our sense of touch becomes universal. The universe becomes our body. We actually sense the embrace of Allah through every pore of the skin. We feel the warm sunlight of divine unity shining within our secret heart, just as we feel the life-giving sun streaming upon us through the cosmic creation. We will taste the fruits of paradise together and hold the cool goblets of paradise for one another, with hands composed purely of divine light, their sense of touch 1,000,000 times more evolved than these physical hands, which are composed of earth and divine light in conjunction. Truth is a living touch among us, just as weavers can distinguish different threads merely by touch. The divine beauty we perceive in each other touches us with spiritual tears. The resonance of the Holy Quran touches us and unifies us into a single symphony of praise. The person who is chanting scripture, the person who is listening in rapt attention, the person who is teaching sacred tradition, the person who is learning with deep aspiration, the person who is planting seeds in the name of Allah, the person who is harvesting with the Bismillah, the person who is generously preparing food with the Bismillah, the person who gratefully begins the meal by invoking the name of Allah. All faithful persons whose lives are the spontaneous cry of Alhamdulillah are intimately linked in loving mutual touch. All streams of praise arise from the hearts and minds of living beings and flow into the ocean of single source of being. Reports the sublime oral tradition of the boundless reservoir of tenderness Muhammad Mustafa. The Prophet said, "A faithful believer to a faithful believer is like the bricks of a wall enforcing each other." While saying that, he clasped his hands together, interlacing his fingers. Thus concludes part 1010 of Adam from the Son of Knowledge by Lex Hixon Nur Al Jerrahi. Next time we will pick up in chapter 5 for section 1011. Until then, Alam.